Hey, what's up traders? It's Chris here from Grindstone Trading. I just wanted to do a quick recap. I'm trying so hard to get in the habit of actually doing these every week. Plays that I took and why they worked out. And I think I'm just going to call this video 20 SMA Magic and maybe 200 SMA Magic. I use the most simple indicators in the world. I use 20 SMA, I use 200 SMA, sometimes I use 50. I don't find other ones really good. And then RSI. That's really all I'm ever looking at with a trade. And I just wanted to show you, what are we at here? Nine trades that I took at various points in the week. Here is either swing trades or day trades and how they worked out for me and what I was looking at and what I was seeing with the indicators. Hopefully help you guys with your trading in the future. So first up, we have AREC, that's American Resources. I was seeing a bunch of things with this trade. I have a very specific scanner. All it does is spit out stocks trading within 1% plus or minus of their 20 SMA line so that I'm aware of it and I can bring them up quickly and see what's going on and what's happening. So what I was looking at for this one here was any activity at or around the 20 SMA line. So it started spitting it out. I believe I first saw it on the chart right about here. And I actually alerted this to the group right on May 27th here. I was like, guys, this is the first time AREC has closed over its 20 SMA line since February. Like, this is a pretty good sign of a reversal. You can see it bouncing off of its 200 SMA here, literally wedging right in between 200 SMA and 20 SMA on the daily chart. And when it closed over the 20 SMA, that to me was a good sign that 20 SMA could or should start acting as support in the near term. And then the other thing I always make sure that I check, I look at what the analysts are saying. Got two analysts both saying buy, one with a 450 price target, one with a 750 price target. So I'm like, you know what? This, in my mind, was a no-brainer reversal. I saw it here when it broke. I was watching it here to see if it would start acting as support. It was looking a little weak, but it had a second close over 20 SMA. Then we had all the activity happening over here. So this is when I took it. I took it here, I scaled some out here, dropped back to 20. I could see that it was very strong support, holding it up now. Took it again, was all out, I think in 359, I think I was all out. I didn't quite catch the top of the move, but I was all out here. And now I'm essentially looking for re-entry. I don't know if I'm actually going to get it or not, but I would like to see this one consolidate back down to the 20 SMA. This is what I call a curl. Anytime you see a chart starting to do this, it's at resistance, 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 resistance. Now, bang, now it's trading above the 20 SMA, and the 20 SMA is now starting to curl around and act as support. So I did this one twice. Here, out, in, out, right about here-ish. I actually did catch this move here. It was fantastic. And I'm looking to get back in, hopefully on a drop to about, I don't know if this one will actually come back down to the $3 marker or hopefully the 20 SMA mark, but it would be amazing if it actually did. So, AUVI. This is another one that I've been watching. This one doesn't have a 200 SMA line. It hasn't been trading for that long. But I'm essentially in and holding. You can see what happens with this one with the 20 SMA. You can just take a good look at this. I'm not pulling it too far back because it's got a huge punch. And that huge punch has really made the 20 SMA line just jump all over the place. So I'm trying to just focus it in here. But you can see once it starts getting over 20 SMA, then we get a pop. Support, drops below, reclaims, pop. Drops below, reclaims, pop. So when this one was trading down here, I had no problem buying it because I felt that it was going to move above the 20 SMA line in a big way soon. It's got such a tiny little float. Analysts are very, very bullish on this one. 15 to $18 price targets on it. As for a stock sitting at $8, that to me was a no-brainer. So I felt that was a very, very good idea, and it paid off for me in a very big way here. Let me just expand the chart again here. So once I saw it kind of make this break here on conviction on really good volume, I was in and then out. I actually got back in maybe a little high, so I'm still kind of waiting to see what the action looks like. But with LEDS and MOSY running, I see no reason why this one shouldn't have a really big pop again. Hopefully, fingers crossed, to the same sort of $30 to $35 level that it had back in February when we played it for the first time. We were actually in right about here, and everybody had all day to get out at a profit. So, and I see this one doing exactly the same thing again. DYAI. This is a tricky one because it's, as you can see, the price broke way down and there was actually insider buying right here. And that's what I was most excited about. If we actually bring this on the 4-hour chart, you can see the pop on the insider buying. Where was this here? Was that the pop on the insider buying? I think it was actually in here. I think it was something it bought in here. So it actually had a big run up here. And now I'm watching it basically to see on the daily chart, specifically the daily chart, now that it's had a close over 20 SMA, if it starts acting as support or if it breaks down again. I'm not in this one. But I like this one in terms of a long term simply because we've got a buy rating, no price target set, but it is trading at the very low end of its channel here, which I really, really like when I see stocks doing that. So I think this one's got a pretty good future, and it did have some insider buying here. But again, what I'm watching is the 20 SMA. Is this now going to act as support, and is it going to force the 20 SMA to curl around? I don't see any evidence of that yet, which is why I'm not confident buying this one yet. WATT, same sort of idea. It actually ran right around the same time as AREC. And had a really nice pop up to almost the $8 level, and then it's had trouble reclaiming the 20 SMA since then. So I've been leaving this one alone all through this, big jagged pops and stuff like that. And then it even broke its 200 SMA down here. But then it started crawling back up, and this is where I saw it on my scanner on the 26. I'm like, this one has now broken 20 SMA and it's closed above it. So I've been watching and watching and watching. I bought in about here, essentially, because I'm like, this looks like it's going to be supported now. Got a nice little pop. I didn't cash out. I'm still holding this one because it's still holding. And as you can see, again, we have a curl. The 20 SMA on the daily chart is curling around nicely, and I'm really hoping that this one leads to a nice big pop. Analysts are very bullish on this one, $5 to $6 price targets, which again, that's something I typically, I mean, like 9 times out of 10, I'll check it. If it's a really nice chart, even if the analysts aren't insane bulls about it, sometimes I'll still take it. But I do factor in what Wall Street analysts are saying about a stock. So this one, I'm in, and I'm just waiting. I'm waiting on it because the chart looks really good. It looks what we would call primed. It looks primed for some big movement. It's got slightly above average volume, so the relative volume is over 1, which is another thing I look at. So we'll see. We'll see if this one pays off for me or not. FPAY, this one basically was just, there's been insider buying going on for the last little while, so I was fairly confident buying dips on this one. As you can see, ever since May started here, it's been holding, basically 200 SMA has been acting as support. So drop to support, the 200 SMA, and up it goes. So anytime I'm getting these big jagged dips down here in between 20 and 200, I'm snapping them up and then scalping them essentially. I think it was all out actually by about 285 to 290. Got a nice pop end of day, but I wasn't still in it. Worked out really well for me though. So I'm essentially dip buying this one. This is another one with 4 to 650 analyst price targets on it. Not a bad hold, but it's just not how I play the ball game. I'm looking for these dips and these pops, and I sell. And I get these dips again, I buy, pops again, and I sell it. That's all I'm trying to do. FTEK, I've been waiting for this one to make a reversal for a while now. So this one was really, really solid. This one hasn't had a close above 20 SMA since very briefly in early February, after its huge legendary run at the end of 2020. And then it's had trouble maintaining that, and it's slid and slid and slid. But then, again, my scanner that shows me stuff trading at or near 20 SMA was spitting this one out about here-ish. Didn't really like it at that point. I'm like, well, it could either bounce off or we'll see what happens. Next day, it broke and closed right here on May the 28th. And then had another little action here. So I could clearly see now that the 20 SMA was curling around, and it was very positive buy. So I was in on, I believe it was here at about the $2, $2.15, $2.20 mark. I can't quite remember. It was sometime on June the 3rd that I bought into it because I'm like, it's holding. So I think good things are coming for the stock. I think the chart is starting to reverse, and and this one I was right in a huge way, and I sold way too early too. I was all out at I think 270 or 280 here, but made reasonably good money on this one, and it worked out very, very well. MBRX. This is one of my absolute favorite ones, and I have no problem holding this one. They're going to have, I think, in my opinion, they're going to have a big end of year. Essentially, they had their big run. This is the last time I played it. I was all out on the run. Got back in here, was all out here, and this is when the market really weakened, especially for pharma. So I got all out here, even though I said I wouldn't, but I did. And I've just left it alone ever since here. I haven't seen any action over 20 SMA until recently. Now, what do we have going on in recent times here? It's been closing over 20 SMA, drop below it, close over 20 SMA. Now you can clearly see, this is just an absolute perfect chart for this demonstration. You can clearly see the 20 SMA is now supporting the price, and the 20 SMA is curling around. Still not getting great volume, but nobody's dumping this one. Absolutely not. With all the catalysts that this company has lined up through late 2021, my goodness, this could easily 4 times, 5 times. This could be a 4-bagger. Absolutely. This is a really good stock, in my opinion. You can see 3 analysts. Strong buy, and buy. Price targets between 14 and 29. This is trading at 373, guys. Like, this is ridiculously cheap for something that analysts think is going up and the chart is setting up. We've got a curl on the 20 SMA. If you're looking for a buy and hold, I don't think you can do better than this one, but that's, again, just my opinion on this one. I've done nothing but make money trading this stock, though, and I am back in. I think I got back in here-ish, and I'm essentially buying it down to dips at or near 20 SMA, which we aren't really getting many of, but that's essentially my game plan here. And my intention now is to hold until through the end of the year, because now we're into June. Next up, we got July, August, where there's catalysts, and then they've got other catalysts lined up all through the end of the year. So there's got to, in my opinion, there's got to be some good news in there. And with earnings behind them, May 12th, it's got nothing but 2 months of, in my opinion, green grass in front of it. SLRX. This one's more a 200. You see the 200 line here. The white line here is the 200, how it's basically playing off of that one. What I was seeing right here, though, when it broke 20 SMA and was holding above it. You see right here all this insane volume happening. This is something like represents 7 or 8 times their average daily volume, but the price was barely moving. It was just sort of bouncing around all day off of 20 SMA. So I got in right here, and I was able to get out of it. Where was it? Right there, or was it the next day? I can't quite remember. I think I bought it here, and I held it here. And then what ended up happening is we actually got a huge pop during pre-market. Unfortunately, I didn't set any sort of limit sells, which I really wish I had, because with all this volume, I could really see this coming. And sure enough, it just reversed, which really sucked. So I ended up getting out about $1.47, $1.48 right at the start of the day, and the price just receded for the rest of the day. But look at what happened. It bounced right off of 200 SMA again. So I was back in here at $1.18. As soon as I got that bounce notification here, I was jumped right back into it. Not profiting huge yet, but with all the attention this one's been getting recently, I think I'm going to be okay. Cross my fingers. BBIG. This is basically, it ran, it pulled back, and bounced right off the 20 SMA here. I missed this bounce, unfortunately. I basically was just day trading this one all day. No analysts are touching this one. That's my only hesitation with buying and holding this one long, even though there's tons of Twitter pumpers saying that this one is going to the moon. But I don't really buy into that hype. I believe in analysts, and I believe in charts, and I believe in my 3 indicators. 200, where are we at here? Back out to the daily. I believe in the 200, I believe in the 20, and I believe in the RSI. Those are really the only 3 indicators I even play with anymore. I'm even starting to abandon Fibonacci. I know I've done videos on Fibonacci retracement in the past, but it's not something I pay a ton of attention to anymore. So these are my 3 indicators. This is how I look at things now. And basically, I'm looking for reversals to hold for a few days, and then day trading stuff that's making pops. And I use the 2-minute chart and the 20 SMA for that, and then everything else I just draw in. That's really all I'm doing. So anyway, this video ended up being a little bit longer than I was hoping to make it, but you guys get the gist of what I'm saying. I think I really hope that everything I'm telling you makes sense and can help you. Using the 20 SMA, using the 200 SMA, and using the RSI. I know I didn't really talk about that much, but I do find charts that are trading under 50 RSI, and those are charts that I'm always watching for reversal setups too. So hopefully you took something away from this video that can help you, and best of luck trading this upcoming week, guys. Take care.